Next assessment is going to be the tibial assessment. So this is kind of one that's underlooked with guys. A lot of coaches will look at the back hip, see what the back hip's doing, or the back foot, and kind of miss out on the tibia. So a lot of coaches think like, okay, the tibia, the knee itself, purely has flexion extension, but it actually has some range of motion rotationally. We don't want to necessarily slam or cram as much range of motion as you can into the tibia, but we can get some range to, again, transfer from the foot to the tibia to the hip, all the way up into the arm. So we want to be able to see what we have access to. So that can be a limiting factor for guys, is the tibial range of motion. So what I like to do is put two fists together, put them inside your hands, and all we're doing is walking one, while keeping our heels down, we're walking our toes out, and then doing the same thing, keeping the toes down, walking the heels out. So you want to see the available range of motion at the tibia. If you're limited in one or the other, you may have a tough time kind of turning over, and you may lead to that more extensive pattern with the quad, kind of that extension. But as we talked about kind of earlier in the ebook, if you can preset the tibia into some internal rotation, you may be able to load it and then unload through that kind of loading pattern. So if guys end up getting stuck on the back foot or through the tib, you can kind of preset it in a different position. But that's something else to look at if the guy gets or looks like he's extending off the back leg, kind of see if he's limited or lacking in that tibial rotation to be able to see, okay, if we can do or loosen up some of the musculature on the back or front of the calf here, we'll be able to open that range up to get a little more rotation out of it. Last thing, again, we do not want to just cram range through the knee or just kind of slam either into internal or external rotation. This is kind of like one of those joints where we want to be a little more careful of, but still can have access through rotational range of motion.